It just blew up in Tampa Bay. One of the strongest, most emotional, and flat-out most powerful statements of the season just dropped. One of our captains spoke up, and his words rolled over Raymond James Stadium like thunder after a cannon blast. Yeah, the 2017 win over the Cardinals was huge, but what really lit the fuse across Bucs Nation came after the final whistle, a message, a release, a rallying cry, straight from the heart of a man who's bled for this team and who looks like he's found that fire again. If you live and breathe this pirate life, if every win feels like a war and every loss cuts like a blade, hit that subscribe, because around here the news comes hot, straight from the mouth of the cannon at Raymond James Stadium. Because what Chris Godwin said wasn't just about football, it was about pride, about soul, about what it means to be a true Buccaneer. Before we dive into his words, we gotta feel the weight of the moment. Tampa Bay was reeling. 3 straight losses, the ship taking on water fast. A team that started the season believing in a new era, with Baker Mayfield trying to prove he was the right captain, the offense searching for rhythm, the defense holding the line. But the storm wouldn't quit. The NFC South is chaos, everyone fighting for air, and every game's a battle for survival. The crew was getting restless, and right in the middle of it stood Chris Godwin, once the heart of this offense, an all-pro, a Super Bowl champ, a warrior known for reliability fight. But earlier this season, something was off. He looked out of sync, slow, faded, and the critic came hard. Is Godwin still the same guy after those injuries? Did the Bucs blow it, giving him $66 million? The questions were hard. And the worst part? They came from inside our own rank. Fans frustrated, faith fading. It was like watching one of the pillars of our golden era start to crumble. But then, Week 13 happened. That game against the Arizona Cardinals wasn't just a win, it was a resurrection. Chris Godwin reminded everyone who the hell he is. 3 catches, 78 yards, flashes of that old explosiveness, sharp cuts, power after contact, fighting for every blade of grass. And even when he dropped what should have been a touchdown, he didn't sulk, didn't disappear. He came right back, kept blocking, kept hyping his teammates, stayed locked in. When the team needed him most, he was there. Tampa pulled it out 2017, snapping the losing streak. But what came after the game? That's what rocked the ship. Chris Godwin spoke, and it wasn't the voice of a player. It was the voice of a leader, a man who's battled pain, doubt, and his own limit. He said something simple, but it hit like a cannonball. It was amazing. Definitely felt a lot more like myself. Just being out there, making some plays, helping our team get that win. That line felt more like myself. It was more than just word. It was a confession. Because deep down, everyone knew Godwin hadn't been himself. The injuries, the rehab, the criticism, it wears you down. When a warrior loses confidence, even the strongest body has it. But against Arizona, you could see it. The swagger, the comfort, the joy. He found what he'd been missing. Belonging, competition, fire. And the Bucs Nation felt it instantly. Twitter, or X, whatever you call it, went wild. Chris Godwin is back. That's the Godwin we know. He's the heart of this team, flooded the timeline. Dr. Jesse Morse tweeted, Chris Godwin looked better today than he has all season. Fan John Garvey nailed, he looked like the old Chris Godwin, and that's huge for our future. Coach Todd Bowles backed it up post-game, saying the Bucs missed Godwin's intelligence, his ability to see the field, block for the run, adjust route, lead by example. That's not just talent, that's leadership. River Wells from Bucs Game Day added that Bowles praised the way Godwin stays engaged on every snap. That's who he is, the complete player who makes everything around him run smooth. Football gods love irony. In the same game where Godwin was quietly reborn, the highlight moment went to the big man, Tristan Wirfs, the 325-pound all-pro tackle. A 2-yard pass from Baker Mayfield. Touchdown. The first catch and TD of Wirfs' career. Big man touchdown blew up across social media. The crowd lost, and right there, in the corner of the frame, was Godwin, smiling ear to ear, sprinting to hug Wirfs first. That says it all. Overshadowed? Sure. But celebrating like a true captain, because he knew the win was the real story. And that's the point. Godwin's message didn't just come through his word, it came through his action. On the field, he showed what football really is. Resilient. It's not about stats, it's about identity. And off the field, in one calm statement, he reignited the spark inside this franchise. Deep down, what he really said was, I'm still here, I'm still a Buccaneer, and this fight ain't over. Bryson, from a football standpoint, Godwin's comeback changes everything. With Mike Evans likely done for the season with thigh and clavicle injuries, the offense desperately needs a reliable go-to guy. Baker finally seems to have one again. Against Arizona, that chemistry between them looked like the old Brady-Godwin connection. Crisp timing, quick read, mutual trust. With Godwin healthy, the offense gains depth and unpredictability. And Bucky Irving's return helps too. Defenses now have to respect the run game again, opening those sweet mid-range zones where Godwin eats. He's the slot assassin, turns 3 yards into 15 with one hip fake and a cut. And more than that, he's Baker's lifeline when things break down. The numbers don't lie. Over his 5 best seasons, Godwin's averaged 1,000 yards, 6 TD, and over 70% catch rate. But the killer stat is YAC, yards after catch. Against the Cards, 2 of his 3 grabs went for 20-plus yards after contact. That's confident. That's trust in his body again. That's heart. And heart's exactly what this team needs right now. Sitting 6-6, still in the NFC South hunt, with 4 of the last 5 against division rival. This stretch decides everything. The Panthers are up next, and it's a must-win, a division dogfight, and Godwin's now stepping up as both emotional and tactical leader. The locker room feels it too. Teammates said post-game that he looked different, lighter, more vocal, more himself. When one captain finds his voice again, the whole ship steady. The energy spreads like gunpowder. The fans felt it too. Ray J was rocking again, even with a close score. The Fire the Cannons chant hit harder. For the first time since September, the building felt alive. That gritty, sweaty, blood and bravery Tampa Bay energy was back. And you watching, you know this can't be by stat. It's in the eye, the body language, the vibe. Chris Godwin reminded us that being a Buccaneer isn't about yardage. It's about how you respond when the seas get rough. And that's exactly what he did. Drop it in the comment. If you believe Godwin's officially back, type Fire the Cannon. If you think he still has more to prove, type Steady the Ship. This debate's gonna roll all season. Looking ahead, the ripple effect huge. With Evans out, OC Dave Canales will likely funnel the offense through Godwin and the tight end, Cade Otton and Payne Durham, mixing in short route for Irving. It'll make the unit quicker, more controlled, less reliant on deep shot. And Godwin? Perfect fit. He reads zone, adjusts mid-play, and crushes third down, the kind of receiver who keeps drives alive. But the real impact, it's spiritual. Godwin came back from a broken fibula, missed 8 games, watched the team wobble, the noise grow, and still came back smiling. Humble, but ready. That's leadership. That's the stuff legends are made of. And don't think the locker room missed it. Lavonte David, the forever captain of the defense, was seen hugging Godwin after the game, telling him that's what we need. And he's right, because sometimes it's not a scheme or a playbook turns a season, it's spirit. Chris Godwin, through his words and his will, just gave that spirit back to the Buccaneers. The NFC South's wide open, the ending's unwritten, but something's shifted in the air. Tampa Bay believes again. The pride's back. At the end of the day, Godwin's message wasn't just for us fans. It was for everyone who doubted, everyone who thought ship sunk. He showed that the ship still float, and the cannons still loaded. When asked how it felt to finally play like himself again, he said simply, "It was amazing. I felt more like me." And that's it. Sometimes the biggest victories don't show up on the scoreboard. They show up in the heart. Tampa's never run from a fight. Never. And if this game taught the Bucs Nation anything, it's that the fire's still burning. As long as there's one pirate willing to battle, that red flag with the skull will keep flying. So hold on to this, Bucs Nation. Chris Godwin is back. And with him, the soul of this team has returned. Now tell me, do you think this is the turning point? Can his words be the spark for a playoff push? Or is it still too soon to call it a comeback? Drop your take in the comment. It might make the next video, because here, the crew speaks loud. Here, every word from a player can steer the seas. Fire the cannon. Tampa's alive.